inside Thursday night. How's it going? Alright, strip back, good crack, multi-trade podcast. Share the knowledge you know, help to make our sector grow. Everybody's learning from experts and the journeyman. Insights.
Right, we're back. Season 9, episode 5. I'm Stephen Buckley.
And I'm Keith Delan.
And this is Inside the Stripped Back podcast, sponsored by Snickers Workwear Ireland.
And also in association with Hager Ireland. And we're coming here to you today from N2 Electrical in Ashbourne.
Yeah, we've got another trade-focused episode coming up with Niall Walsh from Soul Farm Furniture, taking a trip up from Tipperary to join us on the podcast, have a little chat about his life, about his craft and everything else in between.
Yeah, no, 100%. Can't wait to get it going. And he'll also be sharing his journey and his travels from, you know, recession-riddled Ireland over to Australia, to New Zealand, and then back again. So, full round trip.
Yeah, really enjoying this season. It's been a reset for us.
Back to the roots.
Yeah, back to the roots. Although we've come into a new studio, new setting, obviously new location, the whole lot. But to have still people reaching out, looking to come on from backgrounds and crafts where you might not see the normal Joe Soap be looking into coming out of school is it's still a pincher for us. Like people who are renowned within the industry. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. And I think early doors, when we mentioned that we were moving location, yeah, the season got booked up pretty quick. So look, we're always open to, you know, we'll always fit people in and around the schedule and stuff. But it was nice to see the support that was given in terms of people wanting to come on. Yeah,
look, I'm having DMs come in, like lads looking to jump on, and I'm saying yes to everybody, and I truly do mean it. Like, we'd love to have everybody on.
Yeah.
We've only got so many episodes, we've only got so much time, and like Keith mentioned, we'll try and fit you in. But look, I guess with the likes of, you know, apprentices looking to share their stories, looking to share their journeys, letting people know what the industry is like out there, not just in the electrical game, but the plumbing, and, you know, we've had HVAC on as well. It's always good to stay in contact with them, see them like our videos on TikTok and Instagram. And, you know, nobody, I think, takes offense to, you know, being put on the long finger in a sense, or just being added to the list. Like, we've got people there that, you know, we have on a list of even dropouts that are ready to jump in and come in on short notice, which is great. But to have the likes of, I think, people who will provide a story, not just a, you know, looking to jump on and just have their voice on and face on a screen. Like, they're looking to share something and actually give a little back to the industry as well, like, which I think anybody coming up or anybody listening, young or old, like, will take some sort of positivity from, you know.
Yeah, like what you said there. Once there's a backstory, obviously, yeah, we're highly motivated to get people in from the trades, like we always have been. But if there's a little story there, or a little caveat to, you know, the journey, it's good. It's good for the show, and it's good for people to see the adversities. It's not just the success stories, you know, kind of the hardships that it takes to maybe get into your trade, or, you know, maybe your upbringing wasn't great and it didn't work out for you. And like, we've seen stories where people, like our very good friend of the show, Richard Cochran, who went into a trade late in the day as well, like, you know, and make a really great success of himself. So proud of you. Yeah, it's the little stories behind it makes it all the better for us, you know.
Yeah, and you're saying, like, not that you have, like, in any way shaped their journey, like, but you've been a part of their journey as well. Like, they've reached out to you, they've come on the podcast, they've provided their insight and their knowledge, and, you know, they've gone on then to put themselves forward and get their bit of confidence and put themselves in front of the camera and go out there looking for a bit of sponsorship in themselves and brand ambassadorships and, you know, being at awards and stuff like that as well. And, you know, it's something that myself and Keith, like, have, you know, we take great pride in as well, like, to be able to say that, you know, we've been in some way a little speck or a little part of their journey, you know.
Yeah, no, exactly. And just a little bit of an influence, and, you know, to, like, in the case of Richard, like, safe practices, you know, in the electrical industries, and then, other people and influencers throughout the trades that have, you know, put themselves out there and, you know, given people or youngsters an option to do something in their fields, you know what I mean? And, you know, other than that, where else would you hear it? Only off maybe a school teacher or your parents. But, you know, when you're hearing it from these tradespeople that have made, you know, a good name for themselves and, you know, they seem to be, you know, living life, you know, and some of the, like, for example, Paul Collins, like, you know, sharing his journey through his career and, you know, you know, his time off and his time down, what he does and stuff like that. It's brilliant just to share the whole picture, you know.
You know,
you know, and then we're able to, you know, give them, you know, a platform to do it.
Yeah, and look, I mean, at the end of the day, you've people from the trade background, you've people from entertainment, you've people from, you know, right down to education and school, reaching out to the podcast and looking to be not just a part of it, but be a supporter of it. And there's expats who are now living in the US and Canada and Australia who are avid watchers of clips that are put up across social media, which might give them a bit of a feel or a link back to the country that they've come from, just to see what's happening over here. And what that might do as well is maybe give them a bit of an influence or a bit of a kick, like to think that eventually, you know, that there is a growth in the trades here in Ireland, that potentially if they were needed to come back or there was a cry or a call for them to come back, that the industry is booming here at the minute. And a lot of the trades, not just companies and large companies and small local companies, getting involved in it now and putting themselves out there on Instagram and sharing the work that they're doing, or just jumping in the van. And, you know, KGE Electrical, we've had Owen, like, you know what I mean? It's like his boss now is starting to get onto TikTok now and put himself out there, and he's starting to just, you know, get his face known and give a different, I think, angle to what the hardships are, not just for the apprentices and the business owners are going through, but just the day-to-day of getting jobs over the line, like, and the pressures that come along with that. Well, I'm getting interested in it. You know, I'm putting on TikTok and I'm watching these videos, and it gives me a bit of an insight into, you know, conversations that we can have then going forward, then to evolve the podcast and bring it a little bit forward, you know.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's just day-to-day conversations that we'd be having in our day-to-day normally. Yeah, like we'd be having these conversations all the time, like even in a sense, like coming into Andy here and in the, you know, you're asking him how his business and stuff like that, just to be able to project that onto our listeners. Maybe it's something that they haven't experienced yet, or maybe it's something that's going to come down the road for them that they need to look out for. I think any of them stories or chats, as we call them, are can be beneficial for the listener.
Yeah, look, it's been a rebirth for myself. It's been a rebirth for you, just getting the podcast back off the ground again for this season, because, you know, I was texting you probably on the day leading up to even us just turning over the studio before we came in, and I said, is this the end of it? You know, is it done?
We go from it,
yeah. Is this something that's just gonna has run its course now? You know, and that's you know, it's a fear and something that you've put so much time and effort into that you don't want to, because you are that voice to people, or you get those DMs, or you get people linking in with you saying, you know, they're happy to see the podcast back, or it's great to hear an episode on a Monday morning or a Tuesday morning while I'm work. And I think that drives us on to keep it going. And with that, you know, another episode coming in, Niall Walsh coming up from Tipperary, and, you know, season 9, episode 5, over 100 episodes in the bag as well. It's just something that is something that is going to keep us driving towards the next 100. You know what I mean? And what better way to do it than having somebody with another niche craft that is going to explain a story.
An amazing story, yeah. Really looking forward. Do we jump into it?
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it.
The Stripped Back podcast, sponsored by Snickers Workwear Ireland and Season 9 in association with N2 Electrical and Hager Ireland. Right, Niall, thanks for driving up from the sticks. We're getting a few people doing that on this season, but delighted to have you. It's one we've been looking forward to since we started this season.
Lovely, yeah, same as, yeah. Thanks for having me, lads. I'm delighted to come up here. So,
Sure, we're recording from the sticks now. We used to be in Inchicore. We used to be in our city Dublin recordings, and now we're out in Ashbourne. So
look at you, two cultures.
two cultures, yeah, growing out the beards and all there now. So no, cheers for coming up. We do appreciate people, making the spin up to us, and we're in an awkward enough spot to get to as well. So
it's grand, yeah. It's
cheers,
worth it, boys. Yeah, I'm happy to come up for the chat. Yeah,
it's like that though when you see, say, 100 episodes or whatever, and a lot of people say it to us, don't they? Like, oh, he's 100 episodes in, and he's like, oh no, it's only 2 years in, like, and there's so much that we can still tap into within
fresh,
absolutely,
the Irish market in regards to not just trades, like, but skills and crafts people and stuff, and the likes of yourself and all that. When you're on Instagram and somebody takes the plunge to even put themselves out there on Instagram and social media and stuff, it's great that the likes of us can sort of expand our community out to the likes of yourselves as well. Like, 'cause, I mean, from carpenters and fitters and stuff like that we've had on the podcast already, it's no one story or no one conversation is the same, is it? Like,
no, 100%, and that's like, I think, I mean, right in saying to be the first bespoke furniture maker we've had on. I know we had the likes of Richie Doyle. Obviously, that's bespoke kitchen fit outs, wardrobes and stuff like that as well, but. It's just great having we especially love not having electricians on because we get to learn a bit. Like, we've kind of exhausted, not to say we wouldn't take any more electricians on, but we love getting the kind of the bespoke stuff in.
Yeah. That's a testament to you as well, lads. Like, you're very open-minded, and the sky's the limit, really, isn't it? There's so much content, so many talented people out there. I know you're at the Design Source Ireland, and you get to see a little bit of the talent on display, like, but I was at a few other shows in the RDS, and I'm blown away since I moved home. Like, the talent of this country is unbelievable.
Yeah,
and you're just up there putting a spotlight on people. It's brilliant. Like, so fair play.
I think you probably came back. I know you're saying you're 3 years back from New Zealand now.
Yeah,
I think you're back at just the right time, because when we started the podcast, it was next to nothing going on in terms of like social media stuff and lads podcasting and interacting with people, but it's kind of accelerated now, which is
the renaissance.
The renaissance,
So you're saying I kicked off the renaissance?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, as soon as you landed, something just happened. Yeah,
have that effect on countries.
It's something that we like to do though on the podcast, is just let our listeners know just a little bit about the guest and maybe their background and where they grew up in Ireland, because we do have a lot of listeners from the UK as well that might not get the concept of what growing up in rural Ireland is like as well. You know what I mean? So if you'd like to maybe let our listeners know just a little bit about your early days.
Yeah. So I'm from Tipperary, town called Thurles, aka the centre of the universe. And if you're not aware about it now, you know. I suppose you've had a few cultures on lately. You had your guy from Kilkenny there last week. I was listening in. And you're talking a lot about hurling, but Tipperary is the home of hurling,
Just in together.
Yeah.
The Schlitters.
Yeah. But it actually, the GA was formed in my town in Thurles. And there's a hotel, Hayes Hotel, in the middle of the town. And that's where the first papers were drafted up and the agreement was made. And
that's cool.
And look at the strength of the GA now. It's amazing. So that's why they call Tipperary the Premier County. But yeah, I just grew up there, country lifestyle, and it was great upbringing, really, freedom of the countryside, going out exploring, playing in fields and building rafts and go-karts and all that kind of crack. Like, so I have fond memories of my childhood growing up.
What was school like?
Yeah, I suppose, don't remember too much primary school. I'd have to say I probably struggled in school, like academically it wasn't my thing. A lot of trades people might say the same thing, but I always wanted to be outside playing or making something, but the school system was probably not designed fully for that. So I'd find myself, in the classroom just drifting away or looking out the window or looking at a table, trying to figure out how was this made, or deep thinking about other things. So yeah, I actually probably found a lot of school difficult. Maybe some teachers that had an effect on me. I had there was a guy, his nickname was Diesel Dunn. He's and he got a lot of stick. He had a moustache and glasses, and we used to call him Ned Flanders, like your man off the Simpsons. But apart from all that, he was a brilliant teacher. He really was, like, and he really appealed to me. He explained things through visual methods, you know, and that's how I see things. That's how I learn, you know. He was a tech graphics teacher. It's probably my favourite subject through school. But
the T-squares and
we had the same type of lads. Scruffy Duffy.
Scruffy Duffy. The nicknames are mad, aren't they?
I think we had Homer Simpson in the school at one stage as well. Like, there's a Simpson character in every school.
Yeah, full cast of Simpsons across Ireland.
That was the Fadger,
But no, it is. It's like, and I sort of relate to that as well. I was always sort of a visual learner. You know what I mean? If you show me something once and, you know, I'll have a good run at it, you know what I mean?
Well, he used to do, like, it's the first couple of things we'd have to draw, like the Mercedes badge. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Am I? The BMW badge, the Mitsubishi. Learn how to draw them. And for young lads growing up, like, who love cars and stuff, that was a cool thing to learn, you know. We were already interested, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he had all these models, like, you know, a lot of tech drawing was learning how something works, sections through it. He'd have things you pull apart. You'd actually see what it looks like from the inside. And it gave you a full 360 understanding of what you were drawing. And it became not just lines on the paper. It was actually something 3D visual that you're creating. So, yeah, he was a great teacher in that way. And he got me hooked on tech drawing and interested in the whole design side of things. And yeah,
it's great when it hits home like that, especially with a teacher. Like, you know, like we all had, well, mine was probably more PE. I hit home with, but tech graphics was great as well. Like, I think I chose my subjects around, you know, becoming an electrician.
Yeah,
so I had a job lined up, like, you know.
Yeah.
So we ended up doing physics, engineering, and tech graphics. Like, they were always my favourite subjects. Like, you know, I had no interest in Irish, French, what else?
Same, yeah.
Yeah, geography, I like geography. I wasn't too bad at geography, but then history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No interest.
That's where the visual aspect comes back to it as well, because what people don't realise is, you know, when you learn visually like that, you also think visually as well, and you're thinking ahead of what you're doing now in that moment is going to be for you moving forward, you know. So when you're doing the likes of the Irish and maybe it was French or whatever it was, if you didn't have that mindset of that was actually going to be something that you can utilise in your life or your career, it would just be probably pushed to the back of your brain, you know. When you're seeing these hands-on skills or these type of science subjects like that, actually physically can, the mental aspect of it can be put into, you know, projects that you're doing in the class, like, and you can actually then develop them into something visual. It would stick with you, and I think that's why a lot of them subjects then became more popular with the likes of trades lads, you know.
Yeah, they're copping on a little bit now. My young lad is, you know, leaving cert next year, but some of the subjects they brought in, like, you know, nutrition, sports nutrition and stuff. It's not just, you know, you're not just doing biology, like you've got your subsections and stuff.
It's relating it to how you live in life, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's just giving them more options, you know.
But it's the same when you're thinking of the maths and stuff like that as well. And you're you're doing all your maths in class, like, and you're seeing all, like, you know, your costan and sine, and thinking about, I'm not going to use this one. I could right. But then when you actually get into, you know, doing your college, like, and you're seeing some formulas put into place, and you're actually then matching a lot of that stuff up then to, for the likes of us then, like amps and voltage and resistance, and you're like, right, I'm actually putting that into a real world.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's actually visually put there with the likes of yourselves, you know, when you're actually then, like, taking that tech graphics then and then putting it then into real world situations where you're
making money from it as well. Like, it's
make proper cuts, like, you know what I mean, that, like, cost money now, like that. If you make the wrong cut, like, it's got implications. Cost you a fortune.
Exactly. But you mentioned obviously school and, you know, the hardships. Well, the hardships are just trying to get through it by the sounds of it, like the rest of us. But when did the, you know, say, what would you call the love for the tech graphics and stuff and technology, did you put that to use as in a job, like?
It's funny, like, I say that, like, but at the time I didn't realise that teacher was having an impact on me. I just thought he was fucking Ned Flanders, you know. But when I look back now, I joined the dots together and I realised, like, but I suppose, like you said when you were at school, you might realise it, but you're pushing yourself towards those technical subjects. And I don't know what that is, instinct or something, but I was always drawn towards them. And then I ended up doing a draftsman, a job in a steel... They made steel industrial buildings, the Wire Steel was the name of the company. I got like a junior office person training to be a draftsman. That was sort of my first job when I came out of school. Nighttime then I was doing City and Guilds in AutoCAD. And I loved that, the drawing part of things. But I was in an office a little bit bigger than this with, 4 lads in it. I was 17. The next youngest lad was in his 50s, and there was just, they had no interest in me, anything I was interested in. And every day, I just didn't enjoy those same 4 walls and just being ignored every day. Yeah, pretty much. Nothing against them, it's just there was a massive gulf between us.
Yeah.
And then I started a carpentry apprenticeship after that, and I loved it, like I was out and about, different sites, meeting different lads, the crack, the banter on site. Did carpentry and joinery apprenticeship, which I'd recommend to anyone, because it's such an array of different skills. Like you're doing absolutely anything from joists, decking, building stud walls, roofs, doors, floors, anything. You're doing something different all the time. Windows, the joinery aspect, kitchens, so many things. If someone's curious and wants to learn, there's so many areas you can go into. So, it was. I always like to be challenging myself and learning something new, and that kept me going for years.
Were you the first in your family to sort of delve into the trades, or was there anybody else that you could have bounced off in regards to trade skills?
Not really. Well, no, well, my dad was an electrician, actually, funny enough.
Right.
Sounds like a sound bloke.
We all have a crosses to bear,
Brought him along with you,
and he's probably the reason I'm not an electrician.
Yeah.
He was always trying to teach me when I was younger, and I just didn't have the head for boys. That's why I do have a lot of respect for you and what you do, because I can't fathom it, and he was trying to teach me RCBs and all these code names and languages and maths, and it just just flies over my head, it wasn't for me. So
numbers are one thing, but then bringing letters into it. You're bringing letters in.
But then it's just the other thing. It's your dad trying to,
Yeah, and at that point, I was maybe rebelling against it.
You never want to do it with your dad.
True.
My dad was a welder, and never touched the welder.
Yeah,
ever.
That's a skill I'd love to have too.
Yeah, I would now. I'd watch YouTube videos for days and just welding, but never appreciated it when he was doing it.
Did you find that there was more of a determination though? Like once you find what your sort of career could be and you have it in your hands, especially like in the likes of rural towns and down the other end of the country, really, where it's a completely,
where everything's backwards, is it?
Yeah, well, it's a completely different aspect of it. Yeah, well, you think
still an interest.
There's a lot of different choices for young lads and lasses coming up in the greater Dublin area, I believe.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more on show to them as well of what potentially their careers could be. And I find that especially down in these towns, and I've been through them a lot, even just with the career that I've had. I've worked in a lot of rural towns, and you see some of the kids hanging around, and if they don't latch onto something, it can be a very negative, a mental sort of negativity as well on them, trying to figure out what their part is in life, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose, yeah, you're hitting on a couple of truths there. I suppose, there's a lot more opportunity in Dublin, you'd have to say, there's a lot more happening, a lot more commerce happening. And there's a feeling when you come out of school, you kind of get shoehorned into one area. I feel like I've always been a maker, even since I was a kid, making go-karts, making rafts, building tree houses, hurleys, hockey sticks, everything. We used to just make stuff. And I always had the desire to do that. And I kind of was interested in furniture making, but, the people around you and the people you look up to tell you there's no money in that. It's probably maybe not the best route to go, and maybe not too many examples of people doing that, What I'm doing now, I couldn't think of any examples at the time, and then when I suppose for different reasons, I ended up traveling, and travel really broadens your mind. You start to see different things. It opens up possibilities, and you see normal people like yourself doing things you couldn't believe you could do, and then you start to realize, wait a minute, maybe I can do this. If he can do it, why can't I? And
what year was it that you decided to take
I left 2011, I think.
So that would have been coming to the end of the recession then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think the global crash was 2008, right? I think 2007, 2008. But it had a bit of a knock-on effect, didn't it? So I would have been just out of my trade at that time and kind of working for myself, doing bits of jobs, and slowly, bit by bit, you know, everything I had was kind of taken away from me. You know, like I'd have a lot of work. Then I might be working for a month. There might be a gap of a week. Then I might be working for 3 weeks. Next thing, there's a gap of 2 weeks, and slowly, bit by bit.
Yeah.
And then you've less money. You know, you've less stature. I had to move back out of. I had a flat for years, my own independence, my own car. Moved back in with my parents. So the recession had a massive effect on me.
Yeah.
And you know, as a man in his younger 20s, I was like, I actually spoke to a doctor about this because I was, you know, a bit down in the dumps, and he was like, it's not natural for a man your age to not have purpose, to not be doing something. And he was 100% right. And he said when he was younger, he went to America. Same thing, like it keeps happening in Ireland over and over again. If there was a recession, he went to America, got a bit of money together, came home, and he said, you should do the exact same thing. He said, beg, borrow, steal, whatever you can do. Go somewhere where you can live your life, make some money. And that's what I done. I went to Australia, and it was like, from that crash, the lowest point, and I was like, wow, straight away, a new adventure, opportunities everywhere, kickstarted life again, you know, and it was great. Like it was the start of a great journey. And yeah, here I am, I'm back
Carpentry
again.
in Australia is carpentry in Ireland, isn't it? It's the same. Like skills will travel, you know.
Yeah, it's one of the beauty of having a trade, isn't it? You know, you can pick up work anywhere.
Coming from Ireland, it was always, you know, you're always in demand coming from Ireland because we have a good reputation for
Absolutely.
being good tradespeople.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like now with the new builds and stuff like that. We'll still carry that, but back in the day, definitely. I know in around the recession time, I know Stephen had a brief stint over in Australia, but we were all thinking the same. Canada were crying out for us and everything as well.
Yeah.
Then New Zealand with their troubles as well.
And I'd nearly wish that I was a carpenter when I was there. Because there were so many hoops that you had to jump through as an electrician when you were in Australia that they saw the money, you know what I mean? It was like, these lads are coming over, you know, the regs and all are just not quite the same. Like, let's put them through this bit of training.
We can get them on it.
Spend this money. Like, you're nearly 15 grand down before you're even, you know, getting any type of qualification. Where like yourselves, you get in, do a bit of labour, and if you have any type of carpentry skills with it as well, it comes along with it, you know what I mean?
You wanted to move territory then.
You have to do it again.
You're into doing it again, like.
Yeah, it's split up. It's like different countries, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, so they knew how to make their money out of it as well, you know?
Yeah.
But did you ever... Was there friends that didn't decide to travel that you stayed in contact with? Did you ever get the two sides of the coin of the likes of yourself going over and experiencing that and getting the probably the new lease of life from travelling to some of the lads who probably stayed behind and maybe didn't take the jump? Did you ever?
Yeah, I think there's a change in mindset when you travel. Like, you know, it's like I said earlier, it opens your mind. I remember coming back for visits, and to be honest, actually, nearly everyone left. Nearly everyone I knew, like, like we were in a pub one day in Perth, O'Reilly's, I think it was, in Leaderville. Counted out 15 lads from Thurles, my town and surrounding areas, on a Sunday in this pub. Like, it's like Ireland in Australia. That's what it was like. It was nuts. It was crazy. Like, because everyone I knew was in the trades. That whole generation, I don't know if you were that time or after me, before me, but all went into the trades because there was a building boom. The Celtic boom was going on in Ireland, and then they all left. The few lads, like say, had friends who was farmers or some who had family who didn't leave, and when I come home, you know, they'd be still going to the exact same pub, and I'd be like, "Would we not try this place?" And looking at it, why would we do that?
Yeah, because you were more accustomed to trying things.
I had a taste. I had a taste for it then, I suppose.
You probably came back as a different person, really, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, definitely. And then I had a feeling like, I suppose a little bit of what's the word? A bit of fear of being the guy who, look, I'm so good, I learned everything in Australia, and you know, lads on the building sites are kind of a bit against that, you know. I don't know, or that I suppose a lot of lads that stayed, I took the easy route, you know. It was tough. I went over, got my money and everything, but a lot of lads stayed and roughed it out, and it was tough times here for a few years. I know it was. Lads worked really hard, double jobs, anything just to keep the mortgage going. I was lucky I didn't have the ties of a mortgage at that time.
Yeah.
So,
and there is a lot to be said for the lads who did stay, because as a country, I think people forget that as well, that although a percentage of the young and the newly qualified that had to leave left space behind for people here to try and keep the economy going as well. And there was probably only a certain amount of work that would keep that going, you know what I mean? But those lads still had to keep sort of flying the flag.
Yeah,
for Ireland.
a lot of lads got their 100% mortgages, and you know they were snookered, and they were big mortgages. Like
but they had to keep the flag flying for us, you know what I mean? Because our country still had to recover, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's true. Like that's definitely true.
Did you go over on your own, or did someone?
But just to finish on that, like on the other side of the coin with that, like I felt if I was staying, what was I going to be doing? Drawing dole. I was just another expense on the country, you know, me and a lot of my people. Like, so we did take a little distress off the country as a whole as well. Like, there's no one person done right, one person is wrong. It's just it had to happen the way it did, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, and that's how it happened. Yeah. Exactly. It was just natural.
Yeah.
Did you go over on your own, or did you? Did any lads
there's four of us went together. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
There's two engineers, a Sparky and myself, and it was one of the best times of my life, my best periods. It was just such an adventure, like, you know, because I said earlier we were in the dumps, you know, like no work, nothing happening in life, and next thing is just this big door opens up and work everywhere, money everywhere. Loads of women love the Irish accents, you know, parties going on and the sunshine, everything seemed great. Like it was a really cool period in my life. And that was in Perth, Western Australia, where it started. And we were probably about 9 months in then, and there was a bit of sort of tragedy happened. One of the four boys, he lost his life, sadly enough.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe I shouldn't have brought it up, but yeah, it's my story. It's what happened. And he drowned over there, and it was really tough time for us and for me as well. And never really dealt with it. It took me a couple of years, and then we came home. It was around the time then my visa was almost up, so I had to move away. And the city that was just so much fun and so much crack and so much adventure, it just changed when that happened.
Yeah.
It was just this cloud hanging over us, you know.
Attached to it.
Yeah. So I moved on from there and moved on my journey, and my friend's always still with me, you know. His mum gave us a little silver angel, a Newbridge silver thing, and I hang it over the bed. So his memory's always there, you know. And it's kind of it's a reminder, like, while you have life, you have to make the most of it, you know. We've only got one, you know. It could be taken at any moment. So something you want to do, or you feel like you want to do something, just go for it. I'd say that to anyone, you know. And I'm trying to live my life that way. I know it can be fears and stuff attached, and you're scared of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, but try to keep that attitude, because life's too valuable, you know. Yeah. We only get one.
And there's the other side of it then as well, like where, you know, tragedy strikes like that, like, and, you know, it can sort of reset your mindset or make you sort of go back into the cave a bit, you know what I mean, and take stock and maybe, you know, decide I'm going to head back now, like, you know what I mean, type of thing. But you stay optimistic for your own sort of life thinking forward, you know what I mean, rather than sort of repressing yourself and repressing your own sort of goals in life, you know.
That's exactly right. Like, you read it very well. After the funeral, when we came home, I didn't feel like leaving, like, you know, I didn't want to go, but my family were saying, listen, there's nothing for you here at the moment. It's not going to get any better here. At least you have something to live for over there.
Yeah.
And apart from his brother, the rest of us went back over.
Yeah.
And how did the transition then from Australia to New Zealand come about?
My visa ran up. That was it, really.
Kicked you out, or just?
Yeah, no, I wasn't kicked out. No, I had a 2-year visa, and it just came to an end.
No farm work in you then, no?
Yeah. The second year. So you get your first year automatic, and the second year is if you do some farm work to get your second year. And I was coming towards the end of my second year. And my rural work, I got some work in the mines in Queensland, which was really good money, like, and a good job. And that mining economy, it was a coal mine, was very up and down, sort of yo-yo economy. Like, the Chinese were kind of dictating the prices and stuff.
Yeah.
And the guy I worked with, who was signing me up for visa, all of a sudden the value of what he was doing was completely dropped, and he had massive loans out. He had full, like, a couple of million of plant in hire and stuff. So he was fucked, basically. His business was struggling, so the opportunity of working with him for the visa was gone. Like, this whole mining town just went. There was money everywhere. Like, every house had a jet ski outside the front and a big Jeep. It was crazy. Like, a whole town just grew out of nowhere, just the money of the mines.
There was no water, like, it was just sand.
Then the repos came in.
It's funny, like, some of those mining towns in Australia don't have water. They get them pumped to, like, hundreds of miles, you know.
Yeah.
But there's a story someone told me. Kalgoorlie is a gold mining town in Australia.
Yeah.
You might have heard of it, haven't you?
Heard of it, yeah.
And that was one of the first. That was founded by an Irish person, actually. A fellow from Clare found the first piece of gold there.
Won't be here.
And the leprechauns is fucking sticks to us, doesn't it?
It's true. But the guy, we were driving out there to do a job, and the guy told me the story. There was this water pipeline the whole way from Perth out to 700 kilometres inland. So it's like 7 hours driving. And they got all the, it was once the biggest, this was once the biggest town in Australia, biggest city in Australia. And he got all the people's money, all the government money for this pipeline. He convinced everyone was going to work. They were going to pump water for the very first time, never been done before, from Perth all the way to this mining town.
Some fucking pump.
Yeah. And
Few pumps.
and then, they turned on the water in Perth, right? And 2 weeks later, this water's supposed to come through. There was no water. The media, people started getting on his back, like, what's going on? Where's the water? And more pressure started building on this fella, and he couldn't handle it. And he thought he's after failing everybody, and he took his own life.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, this is the second time I brought up that. Jesus. Yeah. But this, the horrible thing about the story is, another week later, the water came through. It worked, and they're still using that water pump that water today, 40 years later or something, you know. Amazing story.
That is, isn't it?
Is his name remembered over there at all? Or is it just all folklore?
It's like the
I just remember the Irish fella. I don't.
I hope it's like Murphy's pipe or something.
Murphy's Law pipe.
Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
There's probably some Aborigines halfway down and siphoning it off. Like,
Could have been, yeah.
Some lads tapping into it, yeah.
Nuts. But the skills then over there, then what sort of honed your craft into what you're doing now compared to just your standard sort of carpentry?
Yeah, so Australia, I learned a bit about concrete. There was a lot of formwork. Formwork people are in demand, so I learned about that, and that was cool. I was learning something new again. Money was really good. When I went to New Zealand, then I kind of went over thinking, I'm a carpenter qualified from Ireland, thinking, Foss is the best apprenticeship in the world. Like, that was kind of the attitude I had, like, that was probably going to teach all these Kiwis how to build. Yeah. And I really got fucking put in my place pretty fast, like, and these lads are having none of it. So I feel I'd done my apprenticeship again in New Zealand, They put me on a shovel and I started from scratch. But because I had that experience, I kind of worked my way up pretty fast, and got to a stage where I was running builds. We were in a pretty high-end area. We'd be building houses like 700 square meter houses, overlooking golf courses and stuff, like multi-millionaire houses, and it was a great experience. Like, and I suppose I kind of at some stage felt the building game, carpentry is tough on the body, and I was trying to find an escape route. So managing the bills, I thought, was the perfect way out. It's the next step up on the ladder.
Yeah.
But back again to my skill set, it didn't suit it. Like, it was extreme stress and pressure involved. There's hundreds of lads on site, and you're responsible for all of their work. Like, and I wasn't sleeping at night. I was thinking, oh, what should we do about this? And I wasn't able to just walk away at the end of the day and leave it behind me. Yeah. So, and I was losing all my physical exercise that I would have had naturally through working as a carpenter. So my lack of sleep and working in an office, the stress, started putting on weight, all this stuff, it really affected me, and I had a realization. And kind of parallel to that, I'd started doing this hobby again of what I used to do of making furniture just down in a shed on a property. And when I committed to completing this build, when I got the build over the line and they moved in, I was like, that's it, no, I'm not doing another one. So I just started doing a little bit of half and half, just labour hire, carpentry work, and the other half was just playing around in the workshop, making stuff. And it was nothing. It wasn't a business then. I was just doing a hobby that I loved, and kind of organically grew. Like, I'd make something, people would see it, they'd tell people. I was lucky. I was in a real sort of wealthy tourist area where my workshop was. I'd make stuff and I'd leave it outside the front of the thing, and people would walk by and see it, and that market was right at my doorstep, so it was perfect really for me. And that organically grew, and then I was like, I took the leap from, doing the part-time carpentry to going full-time, and started to build up that company bit by bit, and that was my baby, and I loved it, I just loved I felt like I was back to doing what I really loved, I was creating, designing, doing...
Is that in the name?
Yeah. Well, that was Rustic Soul was the name of that, because it was quite rustic when I started off, like my first workshop.
Rusty.
Rustic as well. Yeah. It was rustic and rusty. But first workshop was a rusty old shed, down the bottom of a farmhouse, and I had no electricity. I got a generator and I was working off a head torch, and I thought I was making amazing stuff. Like when you bring it out into the daylight, it didn't look that good, It was rustic and rusty. And but slowly, through just trying to constantly improve, seeing errors, improvements, improving. It became fine furniture before long, and I got a marketing fella, Gary. He came on board, and he wanted to learn furniture making, and I wanted to learn a bit about marketing. So it was a bit of a skill swap there. Yeah. So one day a week we'd sit down together and do a marketing strategy, and he was like, "Niall, your brand is all wrong. You're making furniture for really high-end people, and the first thing they see in your logo is rustic. It's confusing, it's sending them down the wrong road." And he explained loads of stuff to me. It's like every opportunity you have, like your brand name, your logo, it's a chance to bring them in a bit closer and tell them more about you. And if something's off, you might lose that person there. It comes down to your website, your social media, and everything you put out there is a chance to bring a customer in closer to you. So I learned a lot through that, and that's why we rebranded, and now it's Soul Form Furniture. And
But the soul had to stay, though, didn't it?
That's the important word for me. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Just get rid of the rust.
Yeah. Yeah. The soul is out there. I think the Irish are very soulful.
No, it is. The way you were explaining it there, it was. I was like, well, that's the name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a part of
the how organic it grew. Just from a love of.
Yeah.
Like where I start. Like obviously, if you start something was like, if I had played football, I would have been. Would have been formed from a passion and a hobby.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't good enough.
Was it difficult? It's always the need.
It's always the need. Could have been something.
Was it difficult building something or putting so much time and effort into not just marketing yourself, but building a community around your product in New Zealand, and then deciding to come home and try and rebuild it here?
Yeah, man. Yeah. The decision was easy. It just made sense. It was one of those ones you do with instinct. We just decided that. Yeah. Me and Marina, yeah. The big decisions are always like that, You just know, you have a feeling. So the decision to move home was easy. But the shutting down the business was hard, man. It was, because it was like my baby, It really was. We put, me and Marina, I should say, we put everything into it, Sacrificed a lot of friendships, lads would be going out and I'd be like, oh, no, I have to fucking work, I'd stay putting everything into it. And like you say, creating a community, all that stuff. And Gary was the guy who was with me, that marketing fella, around the time, and he says, it's like, you're losing your baby or something. It's like a man in depression here. And that's what it was, and we'd worked so hard to get architects and people on board. And finally the architects were coming to us with these cool jobs that we wanted to do. And we were having to say, sorry, no, we're shutting down. So that was really difficult.
Gary's over there making a fortune.
He's laughing.
Rustic soul.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Done me a kipper there. Then, as I was saying, when we actually finally had the workshop cleared out and everything sold, me and Marina, we had a bottle of whiskey and a couple of cigars and chatted about the journey, and it was fucking cool, just to reminiscing all the times, and we kind of had it then, we knew we've done it once without the connections of family or anything like that, and I had done our research on Ireland, and it's a lot more well connected, the location is so much better. Where we are halfway between Dublin and Cork is good already, but where Ireland is situated within Europe is brilliant, in terms of potential market and potential audience. So that was tough. That was the downside, shutting it down. But now we're on the optimistic again. We're building again, and it's great.
I think even out the opposite side of COVID as well. I think a lot more people got more knowledge themselves just on social media about what type of products are out there and what type of crafts people are doing, and they're a lot more open to new types of craft work as well. So that I think that coming home at that time was probably the perfect time for to even build a business, a social media side of it as well, because it was taking off here, wasn't it? A lot of people posting stuff online,
Yeah, COVID was like a catalyst for all that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, things changed after COVID.
People came over and kind of knew they had to up their game. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of people were laid off, you know what I mean? And they had to, like what you're doing and coming home and stuff, you have to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of lads spent 2 years doing nothing.
But what you had then as well is you had the likes of professionals who had crafted their skills over years, who were doing it day in, day out, like, and building up little communities like that online anyway, like, or just standard communities around the business that they were doing. But what you had then was during COVID, then a lot of people who would have procrastinated in the background and have been doing stuff like you were doing in the shed at the start, realising that they had a love for it and a skill for it.
Yeah.
And then there was adding on to that community, adding on to that, like you said, group of people who were trying to sell to a new community. So yeah, you had to really up your game.
In Design Source, I think it was Mullen Lighting. That was formed out of COVID.
Yeah.
It was I think it was a wife and a husband. Was she kind of into design, and he was an architect.
Yeah.
And he was sorry.
Her father was an electrician.
Yeah. So they decided that they were going to just start making light fixtures.
Yeah.
Like, and I think today they have maybe 150 people working.
Yeah.
And it's a family team, and they have light fittings in Buckingham Palace, like, which is.
You know, COVID gave everyone, it slowed everyone down, didn't it? Like, and it gave everyone a chance to think about, what is it I'm doing myself?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And people, like, that's a great example, isn't it? You know, I saw their stall.
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah.
Very artistic, like.
Yeah.
I was the same. Like, I started my company coming out the back end of COVID. Like, you kind of just got that attitude where you're like, "Fucking, I'm gonna go for it." Like, you know,
Yeah.
Because like COVID was tough the first 3 weeks. Now, I wasn't off that much. We were at essential services.
Yeah.
Putting kitchens in where it was essential. But no, the first, like, I was off for probably the first 2 months. Like, I found that tough. Like, you know, that was like you were saying, you were mentioning there, like, you kind of lost your
purpose,
your identity and your purpose, like, you know, like, line out, like, you could only so many times you could power wash the back garden, like,
it's great to start, like,
it's great, the first, exactly, you're neither washing the stones off
We became a mixologist.
You became a mixologist. You found your passion.
Porn star martinis.
Never seen the fruits of that.
I think it was one of the best weather we had, and as well, like, it just was all linked in at the perfect time, like, you know what I mean? But
Crovers was great for some people, like.
it was just great to see the other end coming out of it, and I think that was sort of the stage where I started ramping up even the social media on my end of it, which started off, the Insight page started off as an electrical page. So I was posting stuff originally just to apprentices and stuff and showing them, you know, diagrams, wiring diagrams.
Brilliant,
and, you know, just it started from that, and just giving you a bit of, you know, trying to link those people back together, because people weren't actually out doing, we weren't out, but they weren't actually in the classroom either, you know, doing their apprenticeships and stuff like that. So just trying to keep people in the know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that sort of developed then into, you know, the podcast and what it is today. Like, it's great. I just think it's great just seeing social media now and seeing the likes of, you know, even people that I've been in jobs with. Now, but like that's what I said, like, they have the confidence to get out there and put themselves in front of a camera, like, to show off their skills and their workmanship. Where a lot of Irish people would have been maybe a bit backwards in that for years. They wouldn't want to be showing off what they were doing. They'd like to just keep it themselves, and they'd like to just, like, you know, keep it in house type of thing. Where now it's like, you know, they're proud to show it off, and they're also proud to actually show how they're doing it. So that, you know, the next generation coming along can learn from them, because they're constantly knowing that they're developing their own skills as they go, so they don't mind maybe just leaving a little bit behind or a few crumbs behind for the others, you know what I mean?
Nothing more than showing it on RTE now.
Well, that's it. Like, that's something we have to try and take off now. Seeing when the media kit comes in, you know what I mean? You know, you're dealing with the good guys. You know what I mean?
I'm very lucky, like, I'm shit at all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm good at my hands, I'm good at woodworking, but I've got Marina there, like, and we're a partnership, and she's just so organised. She's good with the tech, and
the shite out of me. I was in the media kick, and I was like, what the
f***? We're in trouble here.
You know what? You're the first one with one that's been given to us. Like,
it's an eye-opener for us.
It was brilliant to see something like that, because the attention to detail in it tells a story in itself as well. You know what I mean? Which is, it's sort of
easier for us.
Yeah, but not even that. Like, even with the likes of yourselves, just trying to get out to, if it's, you know, radio stations, TV channels, podcasts.
Just gets pinged over.
And it creates that sort of bridge and the gap between the craft and the person. You know what I mean?
Trying to figure it out as well. You know.
And it's great, like, you can use photos and videos and stuff like that. You've got so much content now, lads, you know, you can use that kind of stuff to develop your thing. But that was the thing in the media kit, was like, we had a lady from Red PR, she's brilliant, like, she put us onto that. Basically is that make it easy for the person to put you out there, you know, give them tick all their boxes in one place with the first email, and it makes it hard for them not to choose you, you know. So that was the idea behind that. And I suppose if you knew nothing about me and you get that email, you straight away you can see what to bring up, what to talk about.
Would you be like similar to Keith? Like, so Keith's obviously explained on a few other episodes as well, like having the sort of the pillar of, you know, like say like his wife, like looking after the admin aspect of the company, like keeping that ticking over, like, and you know, it allows Keith then to go out then say like Monday to Friday, Saturdays, whatever it is, just you know, keeping the business running through the physical work. Are you able to do that similar?
Yeah, it's the exact same for us. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that, Marina. Like that's the fact, because I used to, like, when I started the business first, it was just me, and you're just trying to quench fires here, there, and everywhere, and juggling stuff. It's hard, like it really is. And it's better that I'm spending my time doing the things that I'm good at, you know. Like, so yeah, Marina keeps on top of all that stuff, invoicing, all that kind of quoting that you need to keep a thing going, ticking over,
chasing money, and you know, making sure that you're collecting extras, and not pricing yourself out, like, you know,
absolutely,
material prices and stuff like that. Like,
we call Marina the muscle. She knocks on people's doors.
That's my missus. That's my missus as well. Yeah,
it is. It's dog eat dog, isn't it? Like, it's like, you know, you take your eye off the ball, and there's always somebody hungry coming up behind you, so you just have to keep. Now you can get used to, you can build contacts obviously over years, and they'll come back to you. But you know, Keith once was that hungrier dog coming up behind somebody else, willing to take you know, that's some work off somebody else, so you've always to look over your shoulder, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think it's interesting to think, when I, you know, look at the likes of yourself, and you know, you've obviously got, obviously no pun intended, like, but the soul for the business, like, you know what I mean, and that's obviously within you, and you're always looking ahead, and that visual the visual aspect of it then comes back from the school and what you mentioned, like, you're always visually looking forward, you know. When you see the likes of, you know, your media kit and your skills being recognised through, you know, potential TV shows that are coming out and stuff like that, does it make you pinch yourself at all? Like, does it make it, maybe is there an imposter syndrome with it at all, like with the Irish usually have?
Oh yeah, absolutely, like, and coming on this podcast as well, like these, I'd be nervous as fuck coming in here, like, you know, it's because naturally I want to talk myself down like Irish people do, like,
100%, yeah.
It's changing. I think Ireland is changing and people are changing. But like you spoke about, you touched on earlier, young lads proud to show their work and doing videos of it, and so we should be, you know. Like, we're skilled people, like, why not, you know? But imposter syndrome, there's been a lot of that, like, and I've had to do a lot of work on myself to start to become comfortable speaking positively about my work, because I used to get people like they'd see, I used to think, let the work speak for itself. But when someone comes in, and what I used to do is point out the mistakes, I'd be like, yeah, it's great. They'd be telling me it's great, and I'd be like, yeah, it's great, but I kind of fucked up that there, and you're talking yourself out of work, like, you know.
Harshest critic,
and it's a bit of a conundrum, like, it's a bit of a conundrum. It's like the thing that makes you better and improve, like spotting mistakes and improving on them, is sort of your downfall in other ways, because, you know, you're kind of self-critical and you might think something's not as good as what it is. So I suppose it's always a challenge, that kind of stuff.
Sometimes, we spoke about it as well, sometimes when you're starting out, like, good is good enough, like, you know what I mean? And like you were saying there, you kind of build on that, where you get your quality up to what you want it to be, because if you try and get that from the start, it's very quick, you can snow yourself under, like, you know.
Yeah, and I suppose within the construction industry, like, I suppose when I started my trade, it was the Celtic Tiger boom, and you said it might be houses flying up now. You want to see what it was like back then, and it was just like, get things done fast and get out, and that's how it was. And lads just on site wouldn't allow you to stand back and take an extra 20 minutes to make something look really nice. You know, it was like, get it done and get going. So it was a very big effort for me to start upping my standards again. And back then, around the same time when I was starting the business, and when I started running these big bills, actually, is when I put a little note in my wallet at the time, and it was just, be the best you can be. And it was just a little reminder to myself, like, always try to be the best. And at that time, when you're thinking, it'll be all right, just remind yourself of that, you know. Keeps you in check a little bit.
You see the likes of, even, like, obviously you mentioned Design Source Ireland there earlier on, and that sort of opened up myself and Keith's eyes as we were walking around to different people's mindsets, and, you know, the technology that they're using as well in regards to getting the end goal of the product that they have on show at these.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just working with your hands anymore, it's utilising technology.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're always looking forward to, like, to maybe have the right type of tools and machinery on site? Like,
absolutely, yeah. Like, we were really lucky now. We got a state-of-the-art workshop, and it's a workshop I'd never dreamed I could have. This is our fourth workshop, and we've kind of upgraded. Like the first one I told you about, a rusty old shed with no electricity, and I've consistently kind of jumped up. And because we sold our business over there, and we had a little bit of income, and we had loads of help from the likes of local enterprise office, Leader, and we're getting some really good gear now. And for me, like, a lot of old school woodworkers would think, you know, it's cheating using machines and computers and all that stuff, but it's just another tool. Like, you're evolving, and the tools are evolving. We have to evolve with it, because if you don't do it, someone else will. Like, you know,
100%.
we've got a 5-axis CNC machine it's on the water at the moment on the way from China. Never believed, like, if you wanted to do, if you scan the three of us sitting here, this thing could carve the three of us out of wood, life size. You know, that's the machine.
Jeez.
It has. I won't be doing that now. Never mind. But it just shows you what it can do. Like, it's opening up a whole new realm of possibilities.
well, now that you've said it now, we'll be looking. I want to see that bit done.
we want them.
Well, yeah,
Going to put them in front of the end too here.
Better go on to see.
yeah. We could do a little model one first. You know, if you've got advertising,
Yeah,
sitting there.
little
As long as I'm in the trio, we'll do it.
It's a beauty over there.
Yeah, but it is interesting though, isn't it? Like, because, you know, you see the likes of yourself, Keith, like, you know what I mean, and it's all, you know, the similar type of tools will always remain within a certain craft. Like, you know, you see electricians, it's screwdrivers, you know, you've got your pliers, your side cutters, and then potentially you'll fork out on a bit of test equipment, you know, with the likes of craft and stuff like that. Like, it is just, it's a different game altogether, isn't it?
We do a bit of work with a kitchen company, JDM Kitchens, and JDM Woodworks, and Richie Doyle. I mean, you go into their workshops, like you were talking about the Axis CNC lathes and stuff like that. It's just like, compared to what we have to pay out, like, you understand why there is the pricing. Kitchens in furniture making, like, the machinery is not cheap, like, and then like sharpening blades and maintenance on them machines.
That's crazy.
It's unreal. Like,
yeah.
You know?
People don't really understand the cost that goes into things behind the scenes, and it's like even just maintenance on a workshop is huge. Like, so in our workshop, Marina did all the paperwork of financial.
You like me, you don't want to see it.
Well, I actually got angry at her for showing me. I'm like, Jesus, that's a bit of fucking pressure, Marina.
I was in great form.
But you have to get the reality.
Yeah, you have to. You need a reality check every now and again.
Well, we were taking on a young fella, and she said, right, once he starts here, Niall, we need to be bringing in just turnkey cost $700 a day. Yeah. And I thought she said a week at first. And I'm like, that's grand, no bother.
100%.
Joe Doyle will be happy.
Oh yeah,
500 a day.
Yeah, it'd be nothing to him probably. Yeah, but we want to stay small as well, like, because I want to make wood, like, I want to make furniture. That's what I love doing. Yeah. And if we got bigger and bigger, I'm just going to be in the office all the time.
You're going to be back at the.
You've got that memory.
Yeah.
New Zealand and all the books.
We're trying to create not just a business; it's just a lifestyle for us. Like, and when we do have kids, like, it'd be nice that we're both in the house working, the workshop's at the back of the house. Yeah, the kids can see what we're doing, grow up into it, learn what we're doing. I think it's just more wholesome lifestyle.
Do it.
Probably, yeah.
Like me and my dad.
Yeah.
You'd see the likes of, you're saying they're taking somebody on. Is that difficult to try and sell to somebody to try and take on? Because there's probably no actual, is it a carpentry apprenticeship, or is it just crafts work they are teaching somebody hands on? Because obviously they're not going to get the same, you know, getting out on the site, like, and doing what it's normally be doing as a carpenter, you know what I mean? So it is like a different training, you know, system altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more of it's kind of like a mentorship, like
exactly, that's the right word. That's what
it's funny, like, I had friends from the building game, like, that I used to work with before, and in New Zealand, when it was kind of like what it is now, like, it's so hard to get workers and stuff, and I put up an advert, and I had queues coming out the door of lads. Now, some of them were good, and some were just liked what they saw on Instagram and wanted to learn it. Yeah. But and he was struggling to get fellas. I think because we were putting out videos of cool furniture projects and stuff like that, it had a massive appeal to people, and I think it still does. Like, you know, so we're not actually giving someone a standard apprenticeship. You're right in saying that. It's more of a mentorship, and we've tried with a couple of lads since I came home to Ireland. I've had 2 lads that didn't work out. They just didn't really, I don't think, realise what was involved. Like, like it's all lovely watching the videos and stuff, but you might have to spend a full day sanding and doing nothing else, like the day-to-day grind is different. And we've got a guy who started recently, and he's older. He's actually a couple of years older than me, and he's coming in as an internship. So we're actually not paying him for the first 6 months. And if the 6 months work out good, it's a government initiative. They help him out. Cool. If the first 6 months work out good, we're going to take him on full time with a proper job. And like, I would pay him because he has the perfect attitude. He wants to learn. He knows what's involved. And yeah, really good feeling about this guy. So yeah, it's different, I suppose, to a trade, but it has its own appeal as well.
Yeah, it is that type of hybrid trade now, isn't it? Like the fact that a lot of crafts people are coming out now with, the likes of what you're doing. It's not just a hobby anymore. It's not just, money on the side. Like it's a business, and as businesses grow and the potential in it grows, there has to be a hybrid look to what an apprenticeship is going forward. I think, we've raised it
the
before.
Skill thing, where you're breaking down the trade to what you like to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll see lads around, like they're like a painting contractor, but they might just paint, an old style phone box for 3 to 4 days. And then you go into a housing estate and lads just rolling the walls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's completely. And you drive by him and say, "Geez, he's still painting that," but he'll have the earphones in and he'll be having the time of his life. You know?
It's a different game.
It might be different to just different to everyone.
It's probably the same with Sparkies. Like there's specialist areas, isn't there?
Yeah, some lads love doing solar and some lads hate it, and some lads are happy. I have a lad with me, and the lad just loves doing light switches. Like he won't get down to like a socket. He'll just go around light switches all day. I'm just like, Jesus, will you finish the one round? Like all the light switches in the house are done, no sockets on, no heating on or nothing. Like, usually the heating's first. You know what I mean? This man is that mad lights.
Put the sockets higher.
Doesn't even put the lights.
Phobia have the dark or something.
No, he doesn't even do the lights. He just does the switches.
Just like standing, does he?
That's it. He doesn't want to bend down.
I think that's what it is.
You're gonna have to get him a little chair on a trolley or something.
That one's for you, David. David McShane.
I just think it is difficult now to give, the apprentice or the learner now the full aspect of the trade now, because it is so niche and there is so many companies out there now with a focus on what they're good at, and there's so much potential of earning in the niche aspects of the trades now that they don't need to branch out. Like, I mean, you can become a master of a certain aspect of the trade now, and it will constantly bring money in as long as Trump doesn't fuck it up for everybody. You know what I mean? But I just think it is. I think that there probably should be a hybrid type of training program with the likes, which I think is good that the government are reaching out and giving the likes of companies yourself.
It's a brilliant initiative.
Yeah, the initiative is great. Like, you know what I mean?
Especially the A's Act.
Because if you didn't have that, you would second guess the hiring aspect of it.
I was kind of skeptical about that. Like, I was like, what kind of people, are struggling to get a job or willing to work for free? Who am I going to get? Like, but the reality is, there's a lot of people like that might have different commitments. They might be a carer at home, or they might have kids that they have to look after. There's good people out there, and this gives them a chance to get back into the workforce, doing something they love. Like, so, I have to say, like, I moved back to Ireland, and it's so funny. When I left, it was this grey, miserable, depressing place. Like, I come back and I see it as a total different place, and the country backs you. There's you see all these events that you were at the Design Source happening in the RDS, creating opportunities for business people. The likes of Leader, Leo, this other initiative that I got your man through. The government really are like helping. Like, people love to bash the government, but they are helping young businesses in Ireland, and the economy is going brilliant. Like, there's so much work out there, so much opportunities out there. Like, Ireland, despite all the stresses and strains and finding it difficult to get lads, Ireland is booming. Like, it's a good period in the country's
I agree.
economy.
100%.
It's a good way to finish on, I think. But, plans for the future, plans for 2026, what are we looking at for yourself? It's just growing the business, is it? And just onwards and upwards.
Yeah, we're home about 2.5 years now. So the first while was getting the mortgage, getting the workshop sorted, building the workshop, getting the foundations, tools in place. And we've pretty much done that now. So this year is just getting our name out there, letting people know what we do, what we're about. And that's part of why I'm here today. And thanks, lads, for helping me shine a light on what I'm doing. So I appreciate it.
Instagram, Soul Farm Furniture. Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, it's TikTok as well, Soul Farm Furniture. Check it out. Yeah. And just before I finish up, lads, I want to say thanks again, because what you're doing, like, you're the host. It's very selfless what you're doing. You're shining the light on other people. and you're taking a back seat a lot of the time, but it'll help you grow as well. And you're very open-minded, like spreading the whole across all the trades, all the different industries, all the different niches. So you're doing a great service and bringing a lot of people together. So yeah, appreciate it, boys.
No, we love it. We love what we do, and we were always going to do it anyway. But now that we have the backing of N2 Electrical, Hager Ireland, and
Snickers.
our main sponsor Snickers, it's makes it a whole lot easier. We get to mess with lighting, like
it's
as
proper
we love
setup
to do,
here.
and cameras and stuff like that. So it's making it a lot easier for us. So thanks to us, and obviously thanks to them as well.
And it's like the words like that, like people don't realise, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we put something up on, Instagram or TikTok, and you get, 2 or 3 people sending you a DM, like saying, love the episode, or, that was really insightful, or whatever like that. It's what keeps us going, like, and it really is, because, like he mentioned at the start there, we'll talk to, a lot of our own trades and what would be considered the easy conversations, like, we love the growth aspect of learning from, the likes of yourselves and what's actually changing within our, culture and environment and country, like, and I think the likes of yourselves and
the story is
the stories, the stories is the main part of it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If nothing else, it's just a good chat, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
What else would we be at?
What else would we be at? This is our indoor football.
Yeah. What's the hardest question of the lot before he goes?
Spotify playlist.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we do playlists every season, and
each
guest gets to pick a song that they're either listening to or it's one of their favourites.
Songs on it this time.
There is, it's an interesting one this time.
Fuse, does it? And Curb Dog from Kilkenny. So not too bad.
Right, I've never heard of Curb Dog, but I'll have to listen out for it. Yeah. Mine is probably a bit left field as well, but probably my favourite musician is Van Morrison.
Nice,
I just love it. Yeah, I love. I used to have that greatest hits, and my mother used to listen to it at home in the kitchen. And when I was living overseas and I wanted to kind of put my mind back to Ireland, that was it. I turned him on, and it kind of transports me over the country. So yeah, he's always been my favourite. So Van Morrison, Days Like This.
Yeah, class.
100% class song.
Real pleasure. Niall, thanks
lovely lads. Thanks for that. Cheers.
Thanks a million. Fair play to you, lads.
Nice one, lads.
Thanks, really appreciate it.
Right, that's it. Another one in the can. Season 9, episode 5, done. Another good one.
Yeah, Niall, thanks for making the spin up. I thought it was a great episode. Had a little bit of everything. Great run back to the roots. Got on the road, travelling to Australia, New Zealand, and then back again. So, it was a great kind of a coming of age story for him.
Yeah.
And it was a great one for us to listen to. So, thanks very much, Niall.
He's a great advocate for not letting, life's woes or struggles like dictate your story. You know what I mean? It's put the head down. If you have a plan, stick with it. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, it's just another avenue or another door that'll open up for you. And I think for anybody who's interested now, like or has an interest in, or they could be just doing a hobby even in some sort of craft and feel like that it potentially could be a career, but you might not see the avenue to go down to get there. The likes of what Niall has done could just be that kickstart into, maybe doing a bit, putting it up on social media, have people see it, or maybe just like he did, throw it out in the front garden and hope that people see it on the way past, and it might just kickstart it for you,
Yeah, no, 100%. He's a great advocate for, like, a pivot doesn't mean you're taking a step backwards. You're more taking a step sidewards to, propel yourself forward. And if something's not working for you, change it and move on and get on with it. Like, what I took from the conversation was that nothing really fazed him, and that when a change had to happen, he made it happen, and fell into the company that he's running today, and it kind of represents him, who he is. Soul Form Furniture. Yeah, it's great one.
Yeah, as you say, life is a game of snakes and ladders. You just have to find your way to that final ladder, don't you?
Yeah.
But big thank you again to our main sponsor, Snickers Workwear Ireland, for their continued support.
And thanks again to Hager Ireland for their support of the podcast, and N2 Electrical for facilitating us with our studio.
Yeah, and if you liked what you heard, make sure you head over to wherever you get your podcast, give us a follow and a like, and you'll be notified when the next one drops. Take it easy.
Catch you on the next one.